XLOOKUP has been around for over 5 years now, and it's meant to be a replacement for VLOOKUP. So in this video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know to get started with XLOOKUP and upgrade your formulas. We're going to look at 7 different scenarios for using XLOOKUP, including how it can replace several other functions besides VLOOKUP. And at the end, I'm going to show you how to use Copilot to help with the transition. So let's go. All right, so we're first going to look at the most common lookup scenario, which is the exact match lookup. And real quick, I'll make the Excel file that I'm using in this video available, along with this free guide that you can use to help remember everything you've learned in this video. I'll put a link in the description where you can download everything for free. So in this example here, I want to look up this product ID in this table over here and return the price. We'll first do that with a VLOOKUP. So we'll type equals VLOOKUP, tab into that. Our lookup value is going to be this product here in C4, comma. Our table array, we're going to select the entire table here. I'm going to hit F4 on the keyboard to make that an absolute reference, comma. For the column index number, we want to return the 4th column. And then we're going to specify false or 0 for an exact match. Hit enter, and that will return the price. And of course, VLOOKUP does that by looking down this column here until it finds the matching value, and then goes over 4 columns to return that value in that cell. So now let's take a look at how to do this with XLOOKUP. So here we'll type equals XLOOKUP, tab into that. XLOOKUP has more arguments, as you can see here, but not all of them are required. And when you see this for the first time, it can look a bit overwhelming, but don't let this scare you away because XLOOKUP is actually easier to use. So the first argument is the lookup value. Again, we'll select this cell here, C4, comma. For the lookup array, we're only going to specify or select the column that we want to look in. So I'm just going to select the product ID column only. Here I'll hit F4 to make that an absolute reference, comma. The return array is going to be the column that we want to return a value from. So here we're going to just select the price column. Again, F4 to make that an absolute reference. And that's all we need for XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP does an exact match by default, so we don't need to specify that argument. It is located in the match mode argument over here, which we'll talk about later, but for an exact match lookup, which again is the most common one, you don't need to specify it. So we really only need 3 arguments here. Again, we'll go ahead and hit enter, and you can see that we get the same result. So the major difference from writing these formulas is the range selections. If we look back at VLOOKUP, we're selecting the entire range here that we're going to look in and return. When we look at XLOOKUP, we're only selecting the range that we want to look in and then the range that we want to return. And this has an advantage because, as you know, if you insert a column here, let's just insert a column in our table, the VLOOKUP now breaks. It's really just returning the wrong column. We need to go change this to a 5 because the price is now located in column 5 over here. Whereas you can see with the XLOOKUP, it's still returning the correct result. And again, that's because we have those 2 separate columns specified. So even if we insert or delete columns between these 2 columns, these columns will still remain the same and remain the same reference within our formula and return the correct result. Now, selecting multiple ranges like this with XLOOKUP does come with one drawback that can be frustrating, especially when you're starting out with XLOOKUP. So let's reselect this range here. If we were just to go over here and select this cell in the price column, and then maybe I use Control-Shift down arrow to select this entire column, you'll notice it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, and that's because I have a blank here. And if these ranges are not the exact same length like they are right now, if we go ahead and hit enter here, you'll notice that we get this pound value error. So both of the ranges need to be the exact same length. And this again can be a challenge, especially if your table is really wide and you don't see the original column over here that you're selecting for the lookup array and you're specifying the return array. If you have blanks or something like that in your data set, this can cause some pound value errors. So it's just good to be aware of. It's very easy to fix. Obviously, we can even just drag this down to select the entire range there. And then once we do that, we'll get the correct result. And another way to fix this issue is to use Excel tables. So I'm going to select any cell inside this table here, Home tab, Format as Table, and we'll just select one of these options. And we'll say my table has headers and click OK. And so that's formatted this as an Excel table. And now when I write the formula, we'll go back and modify this XLOOKUP formula here. When we specify the lookup array, we could just select the entire product ID column, and that's going to create what's called a structured reference here with the table name and the column name instead of the column letters and row numbers. I'll type a comma and we'll do the same thing for the price column. Keyboard shortcut here is Control Space. If you want to select the entire table column, again, you'll see that right here. And these references will always ensure that the length of the lookup array and the return array are the exact same length. If you're not familiar with Excel tables yet, I have another video that explains them in more detail, and I'll link that up in the description below. And of course, when we hit enter now, that will return the correct result. Next, we'll look at error handling. So I'm going to change our lookup value here to something that doesn't exist in the table. When I do that, both the VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP return the #NA error because it can't find the lookup value in the product ID column. Now to handle this with VLOOKUP, we typically wrap the VLOOKUP in the if_error function. So here I'll just start typing if_error, tab into that. The value is going to be the VLOOKUP, and then comma, the value if_error is just whatever we want to return when that's not found or when VLOOKUP returns an error. So in this case, I'll put not found in quotes, close parentheses, and hit enter, and that will return that value. Now, one nice feature of XLOOKUP is we don't need to use if_error. There's actually an argument built into XLOOKUP that handles the errors, and it's the if not found argument, the fourth argument. So here we can just type a comma, and then in quotes, we can type the exact same thing. Oops, there we go, not found. In quotes, hit enter, and that will return the same result. And there's one important thing to note with XLOOKUP's error handling. When we look at VLOOKUP and using the if_error function, this is going to handle any errors that the VLOOKUP returns. Where XLOOKUP with the if not found argument, this is only going to handle errors and return this value here if the lookup value is not found in the lookup array. If we have something else that's causing an error, like maybe the range length issue, I'll just quickly change that. Hit enter, you'll notice that we still get the pound value error. And in my opinion, that's a good thing because we'd want to go fix this error and not just have blanket error handling that shows not found in a scenario where the lookup value might exist in the lookup array, but we have another issue causing the error. So go ahead and fix this one here. And again, you can see that we get not found. And one other thing to note about if not found, it is an optional argument. Anytime you see an argument in square brackets like this, this means it's optional and not required. So if you know that you're not going to have any issues with values being not found, you can just leave it out and have only the 3 required arguments. Next, we'll look at another common scenario, which is looking to the left. So here I have the product ID in column G, and I want to return the category in column F. Now, typically with VLOOKUP, this was a little more challenging to do. You could use the choose function to kind of hack it together here, or a simplified version of that was the index match formula. But we can also do this with XLOOKUP, and it's much easier. So here we're going to type equals XLOOKUP, tab into that. Again, our lookup value will be cell C4, comma. Our lookup array will be the product ID column. And then our return array will be the category column, which is to the left of the product ID column or left of our lookup column. But that doesn't matter for XLOOKUP. Since we specify both of these ranges separately, it doesn't matter where they are in relation to each other. So we'll hit enter there and we get the same result. So XLOOKUP can replace both of these more complex formulas. XLOOKUP can also do horizontal lookups. So in this scenario here, I'm looking up the month in the header row here and returning the result for the West region. Historically, you would use HLOOKUP for this, and this is what this formula looks like. It's really just a VLOOKUP turned on its side. But we can also use XLOOKUP. So here I'm going to type the XLOOKUP formula. Again, our lookup value will be this value here in cell C4, comma. For the lookup array, we're going to specify the header row only that contains the months. And then for the return array, we're going to specify the row that we want to return a value from. I'll hit F4 there and hit enter, and that's going to return the same result. But the XLOOKUP has the same advantage here. Since the lookup array and return array arguments are different ranges, if we were to insert a row here, we'll go ahead and do that, we can see that the XLOOKUP is still returning the correct result, where HLOOKUP is now returning a 0 because it's still returning a value from row 5, and this is now row 5. So you can also replace any of your HLOOKUPs with XLOOKUP. We can also use XLOOKUP to do two-way lookups. So in this scenario here, I want to look up both the month across the top and the region down the left side here to return one single value. And historically, you could use index match for this, and this is what the formula would look like. So let's take a look at how we can replace this with XLOOKUP. And this actually requires two XLOOKUP formulas, but I'm going to break it up to make it easier. So we'll write the first XLOOKUP, and we'll first do the XLOOKUP for the rows. So I'm going to look up the region in this column right here. And then for the return array, I'm actually going to specify all of the cells here in this range. And I'll hit F4 on that and hit enter. When I do that, you'll notice that we get a spill range returned here. And this is essentially returning the entire row for the West region down here. Now we need to narrow this down for just one single cell for April. So in order to do that, we're going to add another XLOOKUP formula. So we're going to type XLOOKUP tab into that. This time our lookup value is going to be the month, type a comma, and the lookup array will of course be the header row up here. So we'll select all of those cells, F4, and then type a comma. And our return array for this second XLOOKUP is going to be the first XLOOKUP. So what this second XLOOKUP is going to do is it's going to look up April in this row right here, find it as the fourth cell, and then take the fourth value from the array or list of values that the first XLOOKUP is returning. So all we need is another closing parentheses on our second XLOOKUP. We'll hit enter, and you can see we get the exact same result. Now I will say that this one takes a little bit more getting used to, and if you're familiar with index match, it's still a great solution that you can use. Just know that you can use XLOOKUP as a replacement. Next, we'll look at another feature of XLOOKUP that VLOOKUP doesn't have, which is search mode. So in this example here, I want to find this customer, but I want to find the last date that we sent an invoice to this customer. So essentially I want to search from the bottom to the top instead of the normal way from top down. So with XLOOKUP, we can do this. So I'm going to type XLOOKUP tab into that. Again, we have our lookup value, comma. Our lookup array will be the customer column. Here I'm using an Excel table so we can see those references. And then our return array is going to be the date column. And then I'm going to type a comma 3 times and we get to the search mode argument. So search mode by default will search from first to last, in this case top to bottom, but we can specify a -1 here to search from last to first, bottom to top. So we can double click to do that, hit enter, and then that's going to perform that search again from bottom to top. So it's going to go from the bottom until it finds that customer and then return this date right here. And one other nice feature of XLOOKUP that I kind of showed in the last example, we can actually return multiple columns. So instead of, if I just didn't want only the date only, but I wanted maybe these 4 columns, I can just specify that for my return array. And this can be either a table reference or a regular range reference. It'll still work either way. Hit enter there, and you can see that I now get a spill range returned with all of this information in 4 cells. And so the combination of search mode and the ability to return multiple cells really helps us add a lot of flexibility to our reports. In this next example, we'll look at how to use XLOOKUP for a closest match lookup. So in this example, I'm looking up this sales amount in this commission rate table over here and returning the commission rate. And of course, we can use VLOOKUP for this. This VLOOKUP has the last argument set to true for what's called a range lookup or a closest match lookup. And here VLOOKUP will go down this column looking for 37,500. If it doesn't find an exact match, it'll go back up to the next closest value and return the matching row. And so we can also do this with XLOOKUP. Again, we'll start typing equals XLOOKUP and tab into that. We'll have the same lookup value. For our lookup array, we're just going to specify the minimum tier column. The maximum tier is really just here for aesthetics. It's not actually used here. Hit F4, comma, and then the return array will be the commission rate column. So we'll hit F4 on that. And now to do a closest match, we need to specify the match mode. So I'm going to hit comma twice here, and match mode has several options. The one we're going to choose in this example is exact match or next smaller item. And again, what XLOOKUP is going to do is take this lookup value, look down this column. If it finds an exact match, it'll return that value. If not, it's going to return the next smaller item. So that would be this row here, again, 5%. So we'll just double click this to specify a -1. That's all we need for our XLOOKUP. We can hit enter and you see we get the same result. Now, one advantage of XLOOKUP here is these numbers don't need to be sorted. So if I was actually to move this row, I'm going to hold shift and move this row up 1 row. So these are now out of order. You can see that XLOOKUP still returns the correct result where VLOOKUP does not. So for VLOOKUP in this scenario where the last argument is true, these values actually need to be sorted in order, but that's not the case for XLOOKUP. Now, typically for an example like this, you will want to have the data sorted, but it's just good to know that it still works even if the data is not sorted. So now that you know how to use XLOOKUP, you might want to replace some of your old VLOOKUP formulas with XLOOKUP. And you can have Copilot help you with that task. So in this sheet here, I have a few columns that have VLOOKUPs in them, both exact match and approximate match. And I'm going to have Copilot help with this to convert these to XLOOKUP. So I'm going to paste my prompt in here, which is to please change the formulas on this sheet that use VLOOKUP to XLOOKUP and use the if not found argument within XLOOKUP instead of the if error function that's wrapped around VLOOKUP. So go ahead and kick that off. And Copilot took a few seconds to complete the conversion. If we scroll down here, we can see the formulas, both the original formula and the new XLOOKUP formula as well. You can see it's no longer using if error, but instead using the if not found argument. Copilot also highlights these cells here temporarily that it edited, and we can jump into any of these formulas here to see the new XLOOKUP function instead. We'll just click done when we're done with that, and we now have a modernized worksheet. And of course, you can have Copilot make these updates on entire workbooks as well. So as we've seen, XLOOKUP can replace VLOOKUP and a lot of other functions in Excel. But there is a scenario where you shouldn't use XLOOKUP, and that's when the users of your file are on an older version of Excel. XLOOKUP is available on Excel 2021 and later. Microsoft has made it somewhat backwards compatible for Excel 2016 and 2019, but this is really view only, and you're not going to be able to edit or create new XLOOKUP formulas in those older versions of Excel. So I hope this video helps you get started upgrading your formulas to XLOOKUP. I'm curious to know how you'll be using it, so let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and consider subscribing. And if you want to know other ways to improve your formulas, then check out this video next. Thanks again for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.